Alright, just like last time, we're gonna do the hacking thing again, but this time, I'm gonna teach you how to do it. And we're not gonna make shit stupid complicated like certain GTA YouTubers, right? We're just gonna make it as simple as possible. I try to do that because, not that most people are simple-minded, but, it really does make it a lot easier, so there's less questions, right? Like, oh, hey, you didn't explain that. Yes, I did. Just a little confusing, right? So there's a bunch of tools we can get for the hacking, and before we even get into that, I should mention the background. The hacking mode on here is very similar to Commander mode on Battlefield 4. The best part about this is you don't need a tablet or some kind of external device outside your video game to actually do this. You can do this straight in your game, no extra hardware needed. And the way you do it is when you're on the spawning, when you're on the spawn menu, like you see the map and you choose spawn your squad or whatever, there's a couple extra tabs that you go to the right for, and it'll say hacker, and then you can hit a certain button, it'll say become hacker. When you're a hacker, you can actually choose to become an enemy hacker at the same time. I don't know why you would want to do that, but you can. Maybe, oh, my buddy switched over to the other team, so, okay, I can understand that, but that's still kind of fucked up, though. You're helping your team with them. Sorry, guys, gotta go, right? But yeah, you can do that. And just like Commander mode on Battlefield 4, if your teammates say, actually not if your teammates, if your squad leaders think, oh, this dude is a terrible ass commander, or he's a terrible hacker, whatever, right? Or unhelpful, whatever. You can actually choose to remove the commander or the hacker. And I guess when you do that, it either kicks them from the game or it kicks them from the hacker and it puts them on the team. I really don't know how that works because I never had that. And for the most part, it seems like every team I was doing this with seemed to approve anyway, though. I always got unanimous support. And like I said, your squad leaders can actually disapprove of you too. So, like, oh, maybe let's say Lima's squad was thinking, oh, this guy's terrible, disapprove. But then the others think, oh, he's fine, right? You can do that too. Now on to the actual hacking tools. Okay, so there's a bunch of different bullshit we can get to use to help our team. And you don't you can hinder your enemies too, but we'll explain that in a bit. So there's a bunch of things we can do. So we can use tools to help our team, which includes hacking, objects or whatever. Or we can do scannings or spottings or even reinforce antennas or whatever, right? You can actually, keep an eye on the battlefield too from a third-person sky camera, as you can see in the lower right-hand corner. So anywhere you highlight, you'll actually see a top-down view of the battlefield. And you can't zoom in and out of the camera, but you can actually just keep an eye on it. So maybe you're thinking, oh man, maybe this guy's on the roof, so you can go, okay, let me get off of this Foxtrot squad guy, and we can go highlight the roof like we're doing now. See, we can do that. Highlight a certain point, and you see how the camera pans with you as your thing moves. The cursor moves, the little square. It moves, and when you highlight a squad leader, it just keeps an eye on them, so it spectates them from a third person. Like when you're on the kill camera, right? Okay, great. Now, there's a bunch of things we can do. And yeah, you can actually get patches and medals for doing this, believe it or not, if you just put enough time into it. Okay, so the first thing we got, they're all called subroutines. So that's what the little tab on the top of the left is. It's called subroutines. And these are all just hacking tools, essentially. So if you want to call them hacking tools, whatever, make it easy on yourself. So the first thing we got is Trojan. And the Trojan is basically, it's pretty useful. What it does is it allows your teammates to capture the flag faster, or if your enemies are capturing a friendly flag, it slows them down. Right? And they call it reinforced antenna, but it is what it is. So it helps your team capture the flag, or it hinders your enemies from capturing yours. Kind of funny when we're looking at this, you see the little line going up and down, like I guess you could climb. I don't know. And this is what I was talking about, so you can get that little third-person sky camera. We can keep an eye on anywhere on the map too, so maybe you're thinking, oh hey, you can tell your team, hey, there's a guy on the roof. Right? Right. The next routine we got is a GPS jamming. What it's supposed to do is, it's supposed to mask your teammates from being spotted by enemy players. So, using the R2 button, it's supposed to prevent your enemies from saying, hey, there's a guy over there, using the R2 button. I don't know if it actually does anything to the enemies directly. Like, I don't know if it jams or scrambles their GPS. I don't think it does, because I had an enemy hacker too. When I was on the field and I didn't see anything different. So maybe it doesn't do anything, but maybe, like I said, it's supposed to prevent your teammates from being spotted using the comma rose button. The GPS spotting is pretty useful. What it's supposed to do is it's supposed to spot people for you. So it's supposed to spot enemies for you. And, they highlight for a while. And, know, you probably think, well, what if I miss, right? Okay, let's say you try to spotting, but you miss and there's no one around you. No big deal. They refill. So all these subroutines refill after a short time. And I would assume that once you upgrade the tools, or once they get upgraded, that, you know, maybe they refill quicker. I would think. I haven't seen a difference, but I would think they do. The next tool we got is backdoor. Now there's no, you know, when we pull up these menus here, there's nothing that says backdoor, but what it is it allows you to hack in the environment. So for example, those little cameras you see, or the gas suppression systems, or even the transformers, that's what they call the backdoors, right? So that's all that's referring to under that category. Now, when you hack a camera, it's essentially the same thing as a GPS spotting, only it's not a huge radius you get, it's just what the camera can see, and just like what we got going on here with these little lines curving out, it can spot enemies for you. And you get points for everything too, everything you do here, so including fast deploys, spotting assists, which helps too. You get backdoor assists, you get you even get points just for hacking the cameras in the gas tanks or whatever. You get points for everything doing this. It's pretty great. The trace is what it does is it highlights the whole battlefield for you. So it does a little scanning line, like when you look at a scanning one of those scanners, you know, you're trying to copy a document, right? It does one of those that goes, you know, highlights the whole map for you. And it says it's supposed to track high value targets, or at least point them out. I think all they mean by that is, oh, maybe it's just supposed to reveal people who are either on the top of the leaderboards, or like maybe the top 3 people at the leaderboards, or maybe it's just the people that are on like the big kill streaks, like, oh, this guy's going 21-0, take him out, right? It happens. Overclock, it doesn't really add an element, like it doesn't like do anything extra. It just makes your subroutines last a little longer. It does warn you that some things can overheat when using overclock. I would think that's like the cameras and stuff, but I have never seen that happen. So, you know, who knows, right? And basically the way you upgrade the stuff too, you just use the tools. So for example, to upgrade your GPS spotting, you just use the tools. You just use the spotting feature often. I mean, don't waste it, but you know, use it as often as you can. Like if you think there's enemies around, use it. Right? It actually helps your team out because they do see it, right? That's the whole point of this. If you use the spotting features, it will point it out for your team on the map. It'll point them out on the maps for you. And you know, if you're a more verbal kind of guy, you can always pop on a headset and you can chat with your team, say, hey, you know, maybe for example, it'll highlight people for you, but maybe you can't tell if they're on the roof or not. You can tell because you got that third-person camera. So you can tell them, hey, you know, there's a couple guys on the motel roof. So they can look and, oh yeah, you know, they can take them out for you. The point of interest, there's not really a whole lot that goes on over there. All it's supposed to do is, it's supposed to just, what does it do? Yeah, it's supposed to just simply, you mark an area on the map, and it doesn't matter where. It could be a flag, it could be a vehicle, it could be anything. You just mark something on the map, say, hey, you know, it'll tell them essentially go here because there's something over here, whatever. Do you get anything for it? No, but like maybe let's say, hey, you know, get to the objective or go to this flag. There's something going on there. You can tell your team, hey, go over here, right? That's obviously on your squad leaders, but hey, you know, it is what it is. The squad upgrade is pretty simple. It's not supposed to, I don't want to say more health, but it's supposed to, when they pull up the combo rows, they can actually get a few extra options, which can include extra grenades, it could be a flak jacket, it could be maybe extra ammo. Just one of those kind of things, right? And it does last for a short time, so it's not one of those things where it's permanent. Short time. Short-term use. And believe it or not, you can get a ton of points for doing this hacking. I mean, look at that, 3,000. And that's the approval system I was telling you about, so if there are squad leaders thinking, oh man, this guy's terrible, they could say disapprove, but it might take a while before I get kicked, right? I mean, having one say no, kick this guy out, ain't gonna do shit. Fast deploy is very simple, so instead of having a cooldown timer after you die to spawn, it's just instantaneous. So as soon as you hit that little class selection menu, boom, you can spawn as soon as you're ready. Right? There's no cooldown timer involved. And again, that is short-term use. And you know, even when you're on the ground and you're listening to the hacker, right? Because you can do that, right? Because the hacker actually gets their own little like automated voice. So, like, let's say they use a spotting feature. If I'm on the ground, I'll hear the hacker say, hey, you know, I spotted some people over here, right? Or there's a lot of action going on up here. You'll hear stuff like that. So it's not like, oh, what the fuck, how they just pop up there, right? the hacker is using an automated voice to tell you what's going on. This is probably one of the most useful things you can do in Hardline, is the hacking, believe it or not. But I'm not getting kills. Well, you can get kills, but it's kind of tricky. The only way you can really get kills using the hacking is you have to use the gas suppression systems. And even then, that's rather hard to do. Because once you do it, it's like, well, how do you know it's going to work? I've managed to kill somebody using the gas suppression, but it's kind of hard to do because the only way I can really think of doing it is have the person low on health, and that's if, you know, I mean, you can't tell, but maybe just guess, like, oh, he's probably low on health, he's running in there, who knows? And then hack it, and then boom, they can die, and it'll count as a kill. It won't show up on the scoreboard, but it will tell you at the end, you know, you got one kill. Again, probably getting kills with the gas suppression is really hard. That's the only way you can get kills, really. The Transformer Flash, I really don't think you can get any kills off of that. Maybe if they have low enough health, but I really don't think you can. Because all it's supposed to do is just flash. Like, oh my god, right? And when you hack the cameras and Transformers, it's not like, oh my god, they're gone. No. No, once you hack them, they refill. So, you know, they fix themselves up and you can use them again after a short time. Now, if you have an enemy hacker, which I almost forgot to mention, the enemy hacker can be a pain in the ass, but usually they're not. The ones I came across aren't that bad because they're not much of a threat, but they can be a pain in the ass. And the way that enemy hackers can do shit is, let's say I hacked a camera, right? And oh my god, the enemy hackers think, oh my god, no, we can't have that happen. So they can actually nullify that camera and make it useless for a short time, and then I have to re-hack it to make it useful again. And I can do the same thing to an enemy too, to enemy hackers. You know, if I see them using a gas suppression to try killing my buddies, I can hack that system and say, oh no, we're gonna nullify that. But because you're probably not gonna get enemy hackers a whole hell of a lot, you probably don't have to worry about that. Again, it's kind of rare too when that happens. Like I said, I mean, I've had one hacker actually try to fight me using hacks, but other than that, you know, it's really not much of a threat. Anything else I should mention? Like I said, that's the only ways you can get kills. Gas suppression, that's maybe the Transformer Flash, maybe. Like I said, that's if they have low enough health. And I don't even know where the Transformer is on this map in particular, because I was hacking, I think that was B. I was hacking that particular flag, yeah, that's B, so I was trying to hack that Transformer Flash a lot, but I can't seem to get any kills from it. Now, you do get points for everything, and that includes, oh, I flashed them, or I hacked into something, or I spotted teammates, or not teammates, but I spotted enemies, or I hid my teammates. You get points for everything. So like I said, that's how you get like 4,000 points for hacking, is you just do shit a lot. You just spot people a lot. You spot enemies. You do fast deploys. You do all that sort of stuff. Like I said, there's a lot you can do with this. And it's probably pretty useful too if you're on a headset, because you can tell your teammates, hey, you know, there's guys on the roof, or there's people over here. You know, maybe they can't see a certain area, but you can. That's kind of the beauty of this. But people don't seem to use that. I wasn't using a headset either, so. But, like I said, there's a lot you can do with this, so it is pretty useful. This is probably the only reason I had fun with this game, because I was doing this hacking thing. I was like, oh, cool, it's like Commander mode, and I was just having a blast with it. You can do a lot with this. Anyway, that's it. So I think I went over everything for the hacking. If you have any questions, you know, you're more than welcome to ask. If I don't know the answer, I don't know the answer. So don't take it to heart. Like, oh my god, wow, 7,000 points pretty much for just hacking. See, unbelievable. Did it. I kind of wish there was different music for the different teams, because there's actually different teams. There's actually undercover, then there's SWAT, and then there's bangers, and then there's criminals, right? I wish that kind of different music, but it is a beta, so it probably will change, who knows. Anyway, that's it. So if you want to see more, either of this or something else, let me know. Subscribe, ask questions, vent your comments, you know, all that good stuff, right? Because apparently it's so important that I ask for subs and viewers, right? You know, it just is. Anyway, that's it, so later.